Hello and welcome to Programming Fundamentals. In this short video we're going to discuss the array. Variables we've declared so far are described as scalar. This means they're single-typed elements. So perhaps I want to write a program to allow a user to input a range of test scores. Let's say 5 to start with. The way I'd handle that, or the way I could handle this, is to declare a series of integer variables which would each hold the input for the score. And this might work for 5 scores, but what if there were 100 scores or 1,000 scores? Then very rapidly this would become impractical. The overhead of actually having to maintain all these individual variables would rapidly turn up into a nightmare. And this is where the array comes in. An array is a series of elements of the same type placed in contiguous memory locations, so they're all next to each other in memory, and each element of the array can be accessed by using a numeric index. So let's have a look at how we might go about declaring an array. So we'll take the same example. I want to hold 5 test scores. So the first thing I'm going to do is, to make life a little easier for me in handling my array, I'm going to declare myself an integer constant, and I'm going to say that my array size is equal to 5. Okay? And then I actually write my test score, so I'm going to say int scores. Okay? And I want to say this scores array is going to hold 5 items. So, having declared array size, I'm going to use it. So, rather than say int scores, like there, I'm going to say int scores array size. Okay. Then to put the values into my array, then I can simply initialize my array by adding values. So I refer to each one by its index value. So I have 5 elements in my array. Arrays start with a 0 index, so I can say scores 0 is equal to 5, scores 1 is equal to 6, scores 2 is equal to 4, etc, etc, all the way up to scores 4, which is my 5th array item, and that's equal to 7. Notice I can't declare any more in there. If I try to do that, I'm going to get what's known as an out of bounds error. If I then want to print one of those out to the screen, well, that's relatively straightforward. Again, I can do that simply by referring to the index array. So if I want to print out the 3rd element in that list, which is scores 2, I can simply say cout scores 2. In other words, the third array in the list. So if I was to run that, we've printed the value 4 out to the screen, which is the 4th element here. Well, that's all well and good, but there are some shortcuts I can take. Just delete that off there. Okay, it's possible for me to initialize my array all in one statement. So I can say int scores, and then I use a square brackets, but this time I leave them empty, and the array is initialized, and the size of the array is initialized from the values that I give it. So there's 5 values, so I still have an array size of 5, but I can do that all in one statement. Loops are incredibly useful for processing arrays. In particular, the for loop's ideal for this. We can use a for loop because we always know what our array size is going to be. So in this case, I can write something along the lines of for int I equals 0, I is less than my array size of 5, I++, and then I can simply say cout each of the array elements as they go. So there we go. So I say int I is 0, I is less than array size, I++, cout the scores, and this will iterate its way through my array. So if I run that, I get each element output as I go. I mean, obviously, I can print them out in any order that I wish. Okay, so importantly there, I can have 5 values of type integer here declared in a single array without having to declare 5 different variables, each one which would have had to have a different identifier. Other important things that I need to remember is when I declare my array, all the elements of my array have to be a consistent type. So in this case, they're all integers. I can't suddenly put a float in there. That's not going to work. All my types have to be consistent.